Good afternoon, everyone. Please be seated. I'm Don Tapscott, and I'm the Chancellor of Trent University, and I'm also a graduate of this great institution. And this is a very special day for everyone here, especially for the students, and I'm delighted to share it with you. Heartfelt congratulations to each of you on achieving this important milestone. I now declare Convocation open.
Good afternoon. My name is Leo Groark. I have the privilege of being the 8th president of Trent University. In keeping with Trent tradition, I want to begin by respectfully acknowledging that we are on the traditional territory of the Mississauga Anishinaabe. We offer our gratitude to our First Peoples for their care for and teachings about our earth and our relations. May we always honor those teachings. I'm very pleased to welcome our graduates, their parents and families, spouses, partners, and friends to today's ceremony. I know that some of you come from close by, some of you from across Canada, and some of you from around the world. I would like to take a moment to recognize a couple of special guests. Peter Raymond, a counselor for Trent Lakes, and Andy Dufresne, the president of the Métis Nation of Ontario, Peterborough and District Wapiti Métis Council. We might as well get warmed up here, so how about a round of applause for our special guests? I'd like to preface the awarding of degrees by saying something about the convocation ceremony today. And I've been thinking about it, and I'd like us to have a convocation ceremony that is like Trent as a university. And this reminds me of a recent report that was done on Trent University, which described Trent, and this is a quote, as a prestigious and elite small university, but one that is approachable and friendly. And I like this very much because I think this really is our personality. And in keeping with that, I want to mention kind of two components of this ceremony. One, that it's a bit of a formal ceremony. It's the formal moment when our students graduate from the university. It recognizes the successful completion of their degrees, but we want it to be approachable and friendly. So I would say that a convocation is intended to be a celebration. It's a party. It's a party we're hosting to celebrate the successes of our students. If you are a parent, you may want to treat it as a party to celebrate the fact that they finally have their degree. With that in mind, I want to open this convocation by giving you all permission to applaud, to shout, to say embarrassing things about your children, to embarrass your spouse. Enjoy yourself. I mean, this is a moment to be happy. Yeah. Now, as you celebrate, we want you to be comfortable, and I have a note here that I'm to tell you that we have shade hats available. That's the good news. The bad news is we don't have umbrellas, but I would say the clouds have been playing sort of hide and seek for the last 2 days, and so far they have treated us very well. I would also say that I tried to get the organizing committee to provide you all with a hat that looks like mine and the Chancellor's, but the organizing committee wouldn't go for it. To our visitors, I want to say that I hope you will enjoy Trent's deep sense of community. I also hope our graduates will take some time to show you some of our beautiful, really spectacular campus in Peterborough. I hope you'll walk across the ferry and bridge and visit some of the places where they have lived and studied. They may not want to show you all the places they've been. They might have to tell you about all the things they've done there. If you're adventurous, I invite you to go to the east side of the river and explore our wildlife trails. If you are very adventurous, I invite you to sign out a canoe at the athletic center, and you can paddle down the river. Though as president, I've been instructed to tell you that if you decide on that option, please sign a liability waiver. As a university, we like to brag that we have more canoes per student than any university in the world. Let me end my opening remarks by saying to our graduates that you are joining a prestigious Trent family. It includes Nobel Prize winners, famous authors, Rhodes Scholars, Governor General, and Academy Award winners. This family also includes scientists, artists, religious and political leaders, perhaps even more importantly, a cadre of teachers, researchers, medical practitioners, mothers, fathers, and good citizens. I believe that Trent has prepared you for the exciting and challenging adventures that lie ahead. This is your moment. This is your day. Enjoy it as an important time to imagine your future and create a life of consequence and a purpose that is uniquely your own. A round of applause for our graduates, please. It's now my pleasure to introduce an individual whose remarkable contributions will be recognized with an Honorary Doctor of Laws degree. A highly respected Canadian architect of innovative private and public sector buildings, ranging from museums and civic buildings to downtown condos, Stephen Teeple is the principal of Teeple Architects, a Toronto-based company founded in 1989. On display around the world and across Canada, his artistic works are conscious of environmental and cultural sustainability while paying close attention to the spatial experience. Closer to home, you can find Mr. Teeple's award-winning designs on this very campus. They're some of the most striking components of the campus. Mr. Teeple is the master architect who designed the Trent University award-winning Child Care Center in 1994, the Physics Building in 1999, the Chemical Sciences Building in 2008, and most recently, our wonderful new Student Center just last year. Outside of his work with the company, Mr. Teeple is a prominent member of the Canadian arts and design community who is committed to active and ongoing engagement in all aspects of discourse regarding design, creativity, and the public realm. He is an architectural critic, author, fellow of the Royal Architectural Institute of Canada, and a member of the Royal Canadian Academy of Arts. His contributions to Canadian architecture have earned him great recognition, including 6 Governor General's Medals in Architecture, the highest honor for a Canadian architect. He has also received the Ontario Associations of Architects Award, Sustainable Architecture and Design Awards, and the Diamond Jubilee Medal in 2013 for outstanding contribution to Canadian culture and service to the Royal Canadian Academy of Arts. Mr. Chancellor, I call upon you to present Mr. Teeple with his Doctor of Laws degree. Congratulations, Dr. Teeple. It's now my honor to invite you to address Convocation.
Good afternoon. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, members of the graduating class, faculty, family, and friends. Firstly, I would sincerely like to thank Trent University, and just to emphasize how much this truly means to me. Different people are fulfilled in different ways, and this honor is particularly important to me because of the long connection I've had with Trent University. It really got us started as a young architectural firm working on the Child Care Center. It was a key moment in our early architectural life, and I remembered it as though it was yesterday. I still remember the interview in great detail, and it was a long time ago. It was our very first Governor General's Award-winning project, and it stands out in my mind as an important life experience. I was also reflecting, sitting here, having some rather long meetings on the Student Center. A group of students sat under those cedars with my dog Shaman and entertained them for a couple of hours while we were in meetings, and he loved this place and loved to come and visit. Your education here at Trent has given you not only an appreciation for knowledge, for the beauty of thought, but important tools as you become absorbed in the next kind of period of your life and work stuff, life stuff. The tools of critical thought, and especially here at Trent, the understanding of worldviews, evolving worldviews, changing ideas through history, give you the potential to glimpse beneath the surface of what you hear and see in the world, to analyze and to understand, and I think also not to take people for granted, not to judge quickly. People have different life experiences. They see the world differently than, all people see the world just a little bit differently. And some of these views may not seem very reasonable or comprehensible. But my advice, use your tools to question assumptions. Don't assume what everyone's saying isn't equally meaningful to what you're saying. Take what you observe around you as meaningful, hints, clues. It's not whether they are correct or incorrect, but it's the insights behind them that is what they offer. Rather than dissociate from everyday, say, oh, that's all, kind of banal, embrace the everyday. Embrace these ideas that at first you might not find interesting. See them as inspiration. See them as an inspiration that can be reprocessed into understanding and potentially into new outcomes, new ideas. The starting points from which the imagination reinvents our reality. A good example is actually in architecture. It's very, very key that architecture remains very connected to everyday reality, to very basic stuff, to purpose, to site, to place. And when it's not connected to it, it becomes meaningless and, well, not only useless, but not meaningful to people. But it is also equally important that design is not a simple reflection. It's not just, oh, it has to be like that because that's what we need. It is a reprocessing of this into an imaginative construct. So it's inspired by the everyday, by the existence of a river, but it is a transformation into a new idea. And that's your job, not to kind of overlook the everyday, but to appreciate it in an imaginative way. And as you navigate the world in the next phase of your life, appreciate everyday experience through a filter of critical thought, and one that can inspire poetic and beautiful responses. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Teeple, for those inspiring words. Mr. Chancellor, Professor Moira Howes, the Dean of Arts and Science Humanities, will now present the candidates for all degrees and recognize some students who have achieved remarkable success in their studies. Graduands, your name will be read. You'll come across the podium and be congratulated by the Chancellor, then by myself, and then by the Registrar, Tracy Arabsky.
Mr. Chancellor, I am pleased to present for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the Honors Program for the Trent Loyalist Journalism Program, candidates whose names will be read, whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honor, that they may receive the degree at your hands. Daria Baigujeva. Joseph Irwin Santiago Karen. Lindsay Marissa Cook. Leah Nicole Den Hartog. Callie Doran. Jenna Leslie. Vanessa Lynn Stark. Daniel Jeffrey Taylor.
This is the last one for journalism.
Madeline Esme Villa. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the Bachelor of Arts degrees in the Honors Program, Trent Loyalist Journalism Program. Mr. Chancellor, I am pleased to present for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the Honors Program candidates whose names will be read, whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honor, that they may receive the degree at your hands. Maxwell Solomon Abram. Mika Adrian. Burfin Aksoy. Emily Elizabeth Allen. Lena Amutsuji. The next student is receiving the Simons Medal. The medal is named in honor of Professor Tom Simons, founding president of Trent University, and is awarded to students who achieve high overall academic standing on graduation at the honors level. Mr. Chancellor, I call upon you to present the Simons Medal to Cole Christopher Armitage. Morgan Rose Barcroft. Josephine May Barsky. Mary Bartram Hollingworth.
I did
Samuel James Colin Baxter. Emma Audrey May Ben. Spencer Walter Baratzik. Hannah Mary Bradford. Nicole Marie Brewing. Sarah Nancy Braz. Sarah Janice Brown. Nicholas Wayne Brown. Laura Buchanan. Amy Jennifer Buck. Mary Elizabeth Carswell Gates. Marie Frances Carter. Michelle Chen. Ian Alexander Calhoun. Hannah Suzanne Copeland. Matthew Forbes Cote. Emma Catherine Cullen. Spencer Cunningham. Alyssa Ann Cymbalista. Martin Deely.
Garcia's on the end.
Carlos de la Guardia Garcia. Mary Beth Darlene Desjardins. Mackenzie Douglas. Tumelo Jerugo Damitu. Victoria Noel Dumo. Callista Joanne DeRose Moya. Alexander William Ecclestone. Lisa Mary Elmorn. Carly Rose Evans. Brianna Fennick. Caitlin Laura Ann Ferrari. Taylor Colleen Foley. Lindsay Francis Reed. Riley Furlong. Sarah Quinn Font. Laura Geerlings. Arizi Georgiou. Renee Morgan Goodrich. Nathaniel John Stewart Hackett. Erin Margaret Hollins. Leslie Jarrett. Victoria Teresa Grace Cargill. Paige Ileana Keeler Cox. Johan Krumhaut. Sarah Beth Leffler. Hannah Catherine Benny Ledzinski. Nathan Edward Levine. Krista Michaela Longhurst. Reagan Quinn Coates McDonald. Amanda Teresa Maciosa. Catherine Janine Marsh. Alexandra McCormick. Taylor Allen William McDonald. Abby McLean. Crystal Morgan McLean. Caitlin Mian Thang. Erin Nicole Marie Messier. Jordan Ronald Michael Misha. Freya Mohammed. Richard Moore. Madison Ann Moore. Alexandra Evelyn Murphy. Terumi Nakayami. Ryan Newman. Bianca Nukara Viteri. Adam O'Connell. Jesse Paul. Brittany Peterson. Mary Jane Natasha Prue. Margaret Willow Marie Pugh. Adam Rafton. Kirsten Jillian Ransom. Sarah Nicole Ratchford. Haley Raymond. Hannah Sutherland Reinhardt. Asa Malachi Patterson Reynolds. Adriana Risa. Benjamin Ethan Pye Robbins. Ashley Autumn Rose. Ginevra Sadler. Jessica Lynn Sitko. Valentina Scartapana. Adib Sheikh. Alana Evelyn Simons. Joseph Lawrence Spencer. Karina Tacconi. Kate McQueen Taylor. Jenna Diane Trezino. Alicia Lori Ann Visconti. Balika Catherine Davila. Jonathan Andrew Wallace. Megan Sandra Watson. Brittany Wells Pantaleo. Jessica Louise Whiston. Joshua Leonard White. Jillian Esther Rose Whitfield. Emily Mary Teresa Wheeler. Holly Catherine Williams. Morgan Victoria Williams. Lillian Michaela Waters Wood. Chloe Victoria Woods. Alexander David Irving Ray. Lindsay Yates. Carissa Young. Amina Yusuf. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the Bachelor of Arts degrees in the Honors Program. Mr. Chancellor, I am pleased to present for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the General Program candidates whose names will be read, whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honor, that they may receive the degree at your hands. Charlotte Adele Bedlington. Kristen Lynn Croft. Rennie Vivian DeGroot McKinnon. Julia Dio Talivi. Mary Kate Edwards. Scott Gardner. Stephanie Glinos. Lindsay Heron. Daniel Patrick Haynes. Dustin Herberman. Chantel Ember Lichty.
That's all one first name.
Robert James McGuire. Catherine Ann Malcolm. Claudia Marchicello. Hillary Morse. Sabina Elizabeth Monroe. Adam Natalizio. Everechi Insitum. Natron Persaud. Brett Allen Gerald Peters. Marlene Audrey Petrie. Wesley John Ryan. Olga Mercedes Samayoa. Cassidy Logan Skeepers. Kelsey Rose Stewart.
My writing's messy.
Masebi Fatma Toure. Wyatt Vigent Sherman. Sharnia Vignes Warlingham. Jessica Whites. Allison Elizabeth Whitman.
This is the last one.
Colin Francis Wigley. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the Bachelor of Arts degrees in the general program. Mr. Chancellor, I ask you to confer degrees in absentia on candidates whose names are before you and who are unable to be with us today. Provost and Vice President Academic Jackie Muldoon will now recognize faculty receiving special awards and honors.
Established in 1976, the Simons Award for Excellence in Teaching is named for Professor T.H.B. Simons, the founding president of Trent University. Each year, this award is conferred upon a member of the Trent faculty who demonstrates both outstanding teaching and, in the words of Professor Simons himself, exemplary concern for students. The 2018 recipient is Dr. Kelly Egan, Assistant Professor in Cultural Studies. Dr. Egan is recognized as an extraordinary teacher who is extremely knowledgeable in her field. She has a strong commitment to learning that ensures her students have the support and encouragement they need to thrive. She creates classroom environments that are motivating and inclusive and carefully crafts each class to promote critical thinking and in-depth understanding of key concepts. She does this while also adjusting her teaching techniques to fit diverse learning styles. Her students appreciate how she is able to balance clear descriptions with complex theoretical approaches and how she encourages and challenges students to step beyond their conceived limits. Professor Egan praised the Cultural Studies Department for sharing a devotion to fostering a deep-rooted intellectual world for students and bringing abstract theories to life. Mr. Chancellor, I am pleased to present for the Simons Award for Excellence in Teaching, Dr. Kelly Egan. Congratulations, Kelly. I would like to ask all past winners of Simon's Teaching Award who are on the podium to stand and be acknowledged. Mr. Chancellor, Professor David Newhouse will now introduce the honor song.
Before all words can be spoken, we bring greetings to all of creation, and we give thanks for another day of life. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, honored guests, graduates. In the custom of the first peoples of this land, we offer the sound of the drum and our voices to honor our mother, the earth. We send our profound and deepest thanks to all of creation. We greet the world with humility and embrace the richness, diversity, and wonder of life. In the Anishinaabe teachings, the sound of the drum represents the original sound of creation. This heartbeat of creation echoes still and infuses our being with life. We sound the drum to connect us with all of creation, to honor and celebrate life, and to live with humility among all living beings. We offer these words of praise for those who are graduating this day. We offer these words of thanksgiving to those who have made these accomplishments possible. We offer these words of respect to those who have come before us and who have brought dignity to our lives. We offer these words to remind us of the 7 grandfather teachings, to live with respect, kindness, honesty, sharing, courage, and strength. We offer these words to honor the works of Stephen Teeple. We offer this song to accompany on your travels, and may you travel well, and may your lives be filled with grace and dignity. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, honored guests, graduates, I have the pleasure of presenting Unity, and may I ask you to stand for the honor song if you're able. And the honor song this afternoon is the Wolf Song. Thank you, Unity. You may be seated. Mr. Chancellor, I would like to invite Ms. Jessie Grover, President of the Trent University Alumni Association, to welcome the incoming class.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, graduates, honored guests, good afternoon. First, I must say to you, our newest alumni, congratulations and welcome to our family. Convocation is my favorite time of year. Simon's campus is full of joy and beauty. Master architect Ron Tom, the man who first designed Trent's campus over 50 years ago, had a simple but powerful philosophy. Buildings should reflect and work with the stunning nature surrounding them, while each a work of modernist beauty themselves. At once, Battle Library is nestled against the river, respecting its flow and beauty, while also strikingly strong, uncompromising in its structure and importance. This is the Trent way. This lesson from Ron Tom. We are tasked to be individual and unique, yet part of a greater group. And I'd like to add that today's honorary degree recipient, Dr. Teeple, has created his own amazing vision of this balance. And today, I challenge you to embrace this balance. Each of you have unique experiences, skills, and insights. The world needs you. But you are not alone. You are a part of a community, a field, a family, the natural environment, and now, an alumni association. And as you find your way in the world, we want to keep in touch and celebrate you. Take time to update your contact info today, even during this speech if you've snuck your phone up here, and take advantage of our benefits, awards, and events. Stay involved with Trent and get involved with alumni. We are made better by your presence. We are so proud of what you've accomplished, and I know that each step you took to cross the podium today are representative of so many more over the past year or 3 or 4, maybe more. Thank you for having me here at your celebration to be a part of it. Today, not only everyone here celebrates you, the entire alumni family celebrates you. On behalf of the Trent University Alumni Association, it is my honor and privilege to say welcome and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Jess. As we near the conclusion of the ceremony, I'd like to thank some people that play a key role in the convocation ceremony. Of course, there are many people that play that role, but I just want to highlight a few of them. I thought today I'm going to highlight 3 people. I'm going to ask them to stand. One is Stephen Kiley, the chair of the Board of Governors of Trent University. Rosalind Jacobson, the future vice chair of... And lastly, I thought we should thank Maura Howes, the Dean of Humanities. It's not easy reading all those names out. Thank you, Maura. Graduates, I think there's one other group that we need to thank, and those are the people that have been your support network while you have been studying at Trent University. It does not diminish your accomplishments that they were there, but there's a group of people who provided you certainly with emotional support, maybe sometimes with financial support, maybe even a ride when you needed a ride home from somewhere. Those are the people in the audience. So I'm going to ask the graduates to stand up and give a rousing round of applause for your support network. Feel the love. Thank you. Congratulations to all our alumni, including Dr. Teeple, who's a fellow graduate with you today. Please join us for a reception in the alumni atrium of the Student Center following the ceremony. I would say Dr. Teeple hasn't agreed to give tours of the building, but if you have any questions about the design or the architecture, I'm sure he'd be happy to answer them. The procession will leave the stage following the singing of O Canada. And at that point, I would ask you to remain standing if you are able until the procession has departed. Mr. Chancellor, I call upon you for closing remarks.
Well, thank you all for being here with us today, and I hope, graduates, that you look back on today with fondness, not just as the end of a stage in your life, but as the beginning of an exciting new chapter. Now, closing remarks like this are designed to inspire the graduating class and give some helpful ideas for the future. So let me dispense with that quickly. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Good things come to those who wait, and what doesn't kill you can only make you stronger. Turn lemons into lemonade. Buy a good suit, and more important, a good shirt and shoes. Hello, it's all about the accessories. Brush your teeth, of course, and floss. I can't overemphasize the importance of flossing. And do increase the proportion of vegetables in your diet. And finally, I want you to write this down, okay? Please never show up at a job interview with your parents, all right? That about sums it up. Are there any questions? Seriously, I'm not going to pass along any career advice to you, as you will all have successful careers. Now, some of you are probably wondering if that's true. I mean, here we have a class: Ancient Greek and Roman Studies, Canadian Studies, Cultural Studies, English Literature, Gender and Women's Studies, History, Journalism, Media Studies, Philosophy. Humanities, it worked for me. But I'm sure in the last few years that at least someone has said, what kind of careers exist in this area? And couldn't you maybe take something more practical? Well, I'd like to take that head on, because my view is that there's no better way to equip yourself for a knowledge economy than to learn how to think. And the research shows that you will actually all get good jobs, and you will use not just your knowledge, but the capabilities that you've acquired at Trent to solve problems, to put things into context, to research, collaborate, and most important, hopefully your passion for lifelong learning, because you will surely reinvent your knowledge base multiple times as you go through life. So as you leave these hallowed halls, by all means, as Spock might have said, live long and prosper. Build a prosperous life for yourselves and your family. But let me conclude that humanity needs more of you. You see, because the world you're entering is full of opportunity, but there are many, many challenges. And your generation is being called upon to ensure that the smaller world that your children inherit is a better one, that it's prosperous, it's just, and it's sustainable. And there are huge changes that are underway in technology, in our economy, in our society, in the body politique. And each of you will need to step up and participate in perhaps what will be one of the greatest transformations ever. Now, I'm not suggesting that all of you go work for an NGO or become a candidate for leader of the world or something like that, but rather each of you will have a role to play in this transformation, whether you're an entrepreneur, a consultant, a journalist, a business executive, educator, researcher, public sector manager, politician, social innovator, and a parent. And my hope is that you will teach your children well, and that each of you will live a principled life of consequence. And of course, this week is kind of auspicious because you have an additional opportunity to exercise your precious right to vote. And I've just come from some parts of the world where young people would die to get that right. Your generation is now the largest voting bloc in Canada, and you will choose governments for most of the rest of this century. So this is with great power comes great responsibility. So changing the world is your opportunity. It starts with a vote. Please, everybody, Thursday, vote. Okay, will you promise? One more thought. When I graduated from Trent, I lost contact with the university, and in hindsight, I think that was a mistake. Over the years, I started thinking about Trent, and I started wondering if maybe I should try and find a way to be helpful, not out of a sense of obligation or even of personal benefit, but just that this is a very important little institution that deserves protecting and deserves advancing. And I became involved with the university in a number of ways, and it's re-engaging with Trent has brought me great satisfaction. So I hope that you'll listen to Jess Grover, follow up with the email, stay in touch. We're building a community. So again, congratulations to all of you. Good luck, dream big, innovate, be bold, be consequential, and change the world. Convocation is now dismissed.